It's the most wonderful time to give some presents to your team. You must be wondering why we're wearing fancy holiday shirts. Well, Corinne, why don't you tell the good people at home?
Hi, guys. Today we are talking about gifting, right? Because we're hitting the holidays and everyone's in that thought process of what special are you going to do, not only for your family, which is always top of mind, but then next to that, your business contacts.
Welcome to Lending Leadership. I'm Rach.
And I'm Ren, excited to talk to you guys today.
And who doesn't love talking about gifts? And the reason we're bringing this to you now, we know the holidays haven't quite hit just yet, but in a minute, we're going to blink and they're going to be here. So you have to start now. You have to start early. Don't do this to yourself. Don't wait. And then you're stuck. And then you're really just like, oh, what do I do? So we're going to help you. Don't worry.
Yeah. And I think the first thing that we need to think about when it comes to like holiday campaigning and how it relates to your marketing specifically is the planning element. I know it feels boring to always talk about planning and organization, but it really is just the foremost of all these campaigns and how they're executed well. So the first thing I recommend is taking a look at your database, pulling a list. Maybe you want to consider your top, 20 realtors, 50 realtors, 100 plus realtors. It depends what your database is looking like. And then also your preferred customers and referral partners and business contacts. So determine who those individuals are first that you want to send something special to.
And guys, once you have this set up, it's kind of like a yearly thing that you have the process set up, then you can just rinse and repeat and do it next year too, and fine tune and see if if you missed any steps. But once you start this, it can just be part of your yearly business planning, which is really important to do also.
Yeah. And I mean, every year there's going to be new updates and it's going to need attention given to it. So there is an element that will set you up for success each year, but make sure you're taking a look at those contacts and trying to come up with new and creative ideas, which is something that we're going to actually review and go over today. Right, Rach?
Absolutely. Because you know what? Everybody loves to get gifts. I love giving gifts. I love when you can find something really different and unique. Just to let people know you thought about them. It's one of those times of year that, hey, no one's going to be mad that they got a gift from you. That's for sure. Or got a little extra card or something. It's just letting people know you thought about them. So we have quite an extensive list. The first thing, maybe you guys have heard of this. It's a company called bluemountain.com. And I love these. I subscribe to it. You don't have to subscribe to it, but I pay for it every month. I think it's a few bucks. And I love it because you can put someone's name, you can personalize it. And there's all of these celebrities who are on there having different holiday cards. And you can say, hey, Rachel. And the celebrity's actually saying the person's name, which is really, it's just silly and fun. So that one is bluemercury.com. Check that out. I feel like, Corinne, they should be sponsoring us, all these people that we're
They will. They will be
about.
at some point. They will be at some point, Rachel. We know
Some
that,
point,
right?
yes.
That's what we're all excited about with our listeners. But I love that idea, Rachel. I feel like it's something that helps you stand out. If you're in a scenario where you want to come up with a more mass gift idea for like a larger group of people that maybe you don't know as well, right? But you just want to give them something. Maybe they sent you a couple transactions a year if it's a realtor or it's a top customer. You can look at things like Harry and David's. It's a more traditional idea for some of those food and drink options. I always like that. And then, of course, all the classics. If you want to do a coffee and tea theme, it always seems to be very popular. It goes over well in an office setting if you just want to get something in front of a certain group. But that planning element will really help you to develop who am I sending something maybe more traditional and light to, and then who do I want to go above and beyond for? And we have some ideas for that as well.
Another really neat idea is to really get into what somebody loves to do, make it a little bit more personalized. You can do the mass gifts for everybody, which is great. And you can customize them with your logo, and you should always be customizing things anyway, right? For branding. But if you want to do something a little extra and different, there's some really unique ideas that I've seen. We've done this for even the recruits. If you're a loan officer looking to build your branch, you can add recruits into that list also. We did something recently where this was a big recruit. We customized a pair of sneakers for him and actually had someone create the sneakers with all of his hobbies, with all of his interests, made it, and he's a funky kind of loan officer, funky kind of guy. So we could have fun with it. But I don't think there's any idea that's too outside of the box when it comes to gifting. So really try to listen in on what that person loves to do. Maybe there's, hey, maybe it's personalized, but not that out of the box. Maybe it's just a restaurant that they like to go to. Or maybe it is really different and funky where you picked up on, like we did, that this person loves shoes and it was a very hard shoe size to find. So we just had them customized and had an artist create. So I love when you can kind of get that idea where you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is something that this person would never have gotten for themselves." And you have that eureka moment of, "Oh my gosh, they're going to love this gift." So really try to listen in and read in between the lines of the conversations you have with people.
Yeah, another example is somebody really liked, I feel like it was another team member now of ours, Rach, hat. They were really into hats, and we customized a large hat for them. And it was just something that really stood out. I think, even going back to the planning stages right before this, when you're making that list, and this is kind of an idea I got from what you were talking about, Rachel, write some separate notes on the side for certain people that you're closer with, hobbies, interests. Maybe it's a golfer. Maybe it's somebody who likes pickleball. Maybe the person, as Rachel pointed out, is really into a specific restaurant. When you take that time during the planning phase, it makes the next phase easier when you're trying to figure out these gifts. And again, if you send something that's really personalized to something that somebody likes, it makes you stand out even much more. So again, when you go through that process of sending out a traditional coffee card or something that everyone is exchanging together, what's going to make your name, your company, and you stand out to them more during the holiday season where there is just so much noise going on, right? The commercials, the ads, the gifts, the cards, everybody's being hit with so much promotional materials. So let's take an extra moment, sit and think together about different ways, which we're trying to give you here, in which you can stand out in front of your audiences.
Yeah, and that really helps to cut the stress down too. If you're planning ahead of time, you the holidays can be stressful just a normal holiday. Well, now you're
Sure.
adding all of this into your business. And don't wait until the last minute. And actually, Corinne, you just gave me a great idea. If you know that they have kids, oh my gosh, if someone sent something to me, amazing. But if they sent something to my kids that was very special, like Sixers tickets, courtside, just saying, putting it
Mhm.
out there if anyone's listening. You know, really
Jotting it
speak
down,
to
jotting it down.
jot it down, jot it down. But to their kids, or maybe even a charity that somebody's very involved with, if you make a donation on their behalf, whoa, that would be really big, I think, because it's another level of care and that you are really listening to what someone's saying.
One other thing, this is just a total side note, and I know many of us are doing this, but just a reminder, if you do take the effort to do a family card for your personal life and for personal connections, think about some of that inner circle business connection overlay that you have and send those family cards too. I know many of you are doing it, it's a common theme, but it's really simple and it's just something that, again, makes you stand out on the fridge. People keep them up there for a while, and it's just a detail that you want to make sure you're not overlooking from personal space into business relationships and contacts.
Okay, I have a question. I have to ask. Are you the kind of person who does a Christmas card or holiday card and puts a family note in of things that have gone on that year?
Oh my gosh, I love those. First of all, no, I don't take the time to do it, but I say every year I'm going to do it. And then I don't. So maybe this is my own personal challenge, Rachel, because I do love receiving those and I do take the time and read them. But I have to admit, I have to be accountable with everybody here that I do love them, but I don't always do them. So I'd love to know out there who is doing that extra step and kind of updating their connections on what happened with their friends and family this year and who just sends the picture, which is also amazing and above and beyond. Right, Rach?
You know, I don't do a holiday card every year because I'm usually late to the game. I should take my own advice also and don't plan. And then it's, a ridiculous fee because you missed all the Shutterfly coupon codes that are happening right now. So make sure you get on those. But I love to do that. And I feel like there was a Hallmark movie about this where they were making fun of some person who put this family letter together. But I really love that. I love reading about people's lives and seeing the highlight reel. I think it's a good feel good moment, and especially for your referral partners who might not know you on that level. I think that's a really added value.
I agree. And here's the deal, guys. You know, we talk about marketing, we talk about branding and how to stand out. That's a part of our segment on a regular basis, depending on what the special topic is, right, Rachel? So let's say you do go the extra mile and you put out there what your family did, the trips, the accomplishments, what went on that year. And maybe you're like, I don't know if I want to do this, or some people like it, some people aren't into it. It's going to make you stand out. The individuals that receive that are going to read a piece of it or read a portion or all of it, and they're going to remember some detail of your year that they didn't know previous to getting that card. So, the end goal of what you're doing is just making yourself stand out in a positive way, and that always will have a lasting impact. So, I say get after it and get outside of the comfort zone.
Yes, so start thinking about that right now. If you were to do a holiday letter or even just a happy new year is always a good idea too. If you miss the boat on the holidays, you have an extra week, you can do a new year something or other gift to people. But if you had to pick out your top 3 moments of this year that maybe not everybody knows, what would that be? What would that look like? Try to pick things that are, I don't know, interesting conversation starters. So all of these little things, like Corinne said, to brand you and make you the thought leader, but to just make you different and stand out of the crowd. That's huge.
Another gifting idea, Rachel, before I lose the thought, and you just brought it up in your segment there. One other gifting idea is to separate the timing, right? So we talk about the holiday noise, everything going on those last 2 weeks before, Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever your holiday is. In that time period, there's just so much promotion being hit at you. So think about the idea of waiting till the new year, right? It's right after when everything quiets down. Maybe you send a gift then. Maybe you send a Happy New Year card instead of sending a holiday card. So here's just a couple additional tweaks and ideas to kind of get you outside of that box, outside of that noise time period, and stand out in front of your customers and in front of your realtor partners.
Guys, one of the most important things, whatever you're going to do, even if you're just sending, I don't want to say a small gift because there really isn't a gift that could be too small in my eyes, but you want to follow up. You have to follow up. It doesn't have to be 2 weeks later during the craze of the holiday season, but make sure you follow up definitely in the new year and say, oh, yeah, how did you like that? Whatchamacallit that I sent you? Or whatever it may be, just acknowledge. Most people will reach out and say thank you. If they don't, that's okay. And then we're not asking for a thank you by reaching out. But you want to make sure that you do that follow up. We keep saying the noise, the noise. Everyone is so busy and you don't always have a chance to say thank you or don't always have a chance to follow up. But that's our job. That's our job to make sure that you're creating this planning, sending the gift, but then you're also creating your follow ups in everything that we do.
Yeah, it's a moment to feel casual, right? And to have some fun and play and do creative things, but make no mistake about it. It is still a targeted campaign. It is still a moment with a goal. And if we just send out something without a plan, as Rachel points out for follow-up, we're missing that additional opportunity for a touch, right? People get busy, they get the gift, they think it's cool, they move on. No, send an additional text or plan an additional text or a campaign into the new year in which you're now inviting them for a coffee appointment, or hey, we haven't gotten together in so long after they say thank you for the gift. Love to take a time now that the holidays are over. It's a great moment for us to take a time together and get a coffee. So there you're turning a gifting campaign, which was just a casual thing that you sent out as a thank you, into a moment where you might be able to meet somebody or get a call and use it to your advantage in a light and soft way.
And here's how that might look. You shoot them a text after the holidays. Hey, Corinne, I hope you enjoyed that creepy elf on the shelf kit that I sent you for your kids. Let's grab some coffee. I'd love to hear how it went. I saw some of your pictures on Facebook. They looked super funny. It looks like you loved it. Talk soon. Can you do Monday or Tuesday? It can be very simple and casual, like Corinne said.
I agree. It's just that important step that we need to make sure that we're doing, right? So I would love to hear more, Rachel, about, what our listeners are doing currently. We would love to get your ideas, hear what you're doing. Let's put it in the comments below and start a conversation about it.
I know. I'd love to hear the funkiest, strangest thing that either somebody sent or received from a
Oh,
colleague, from a company, from a friend. We can all share these ideas.
yeah. And don't forget to check out the Saturday Night Live candle episode about ladies giving candles and regifting candles. Just put an SNL candle gifting and you'll have a good laugh today. right around
So
this
many
episode.
plugs. We have so many plugs today. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, SNL. We're plugging SNL. They need us. You're right.
Well, as always, thank you for tuning in to Lending Leadership. Please like, share, subscribe, and we're wishing you a happy holiday season. Even though it's not quite here yet, it's going to be here before you know it. So don't wait. We'll see you on the flip side.
Don't wait, guys. See you later.